But the voyageurs didn't have much, you know, by the time they came in, they had to unload the canoes every night, take everything out, bring the canoe up on shore so it would dry out because the bark would absorb water and become heavier, and they wanted it as light as possible for portaging. 34-foot canoe was carried by, at most times, by 4 guys and weighs between 500 and 600 pounds. At times, you know, if the terrain was difficult, they'd have 6 or sometimes 8, you know, going uphill or something, but they were tremendously strong, these fellows. So. But when they got into camp, they had to make camp, unload everything, and they would the canoe always stayed in the water, and the Avant would hand the packs out, and they would pass them in a line to shore and then cover them with their tarpaulin so that they remain dry, and then they'd bring the canoe out and lay the canoe on its side and take a tarp and put it down with rocks, and they would sleep under that, wrap up in their blanket, lay on the nice, comfortable, rocky shore, and amidst the black flies and mosquitoes, and try and have 3 or 4 or 5 hours sleep is about all they ever got. Rain or shine, summer, winter, that was it. It was a tough life, tough life. The brass pots are where the basic, where the meal was cooked, okay? And usually there was like one ladle type thing there. This wasn't, sometimes there was horn spoons like buffalo horn and spoons. I've got one big spoon that's made out of a moose antler, you know, bent and whatnot. So you'd have your big pot where you'd dump your pemmican in and make rubaboo, and lots of them just took a spoonful and put in a dished out rock and lapped it up, you know. Some of them carried what they call the noggin. You'll find that in the Voyageur book there. But as far as utensils and stuff like that, you know, they would each have a knife, but it was pretty basic. You know, you carried a few fancy things like an extra shirt, and that was about it. I mean, that's all they had to live in. You know, they had a pair of trousers, and socks were a common item as well. But load, unload. You know, I can't imagine how many times they loaded and unloaded those packs and hoisted them up, you know. One 90-pound pack and then another 90-pound on top of that. Some, you know, everybody would try to outdo each other, but it was demanded of them in their contract to carry 2. They were in charge of 2 packs. So they would carry a minimum of 180 pounds. And they would jog on the portages, you know. They said that some of the passengers they carried with them at times, not carrying anything, couldn't keep up to them on a portage, them carrying 180 pounds. So, believe it or not, it's phenomenal. There's records of them carrying, you know, 3, 4, and 5, and one fellow is supposed to have carried 6. You know, that's 540 pounds. That's huge, huge.